Good evening.
Good evening.
How many of you here in this room are not part of the club? Meaning you are not paid members of this club. How many of you are members but haven't spoken in table topic sessions? Meaning you are paid members, you come regularly, but you don't really participate in table topic sessions. Alright. Now, I think the speech is a little different. I don't know how many people understood. The session is all about how you can speak on any table topic without any preparation, how you can come and speak here on any table topics. Anything that somebody throws at you, how you can stand and speak about the topic. The question is, how many of you are interested to learn that skill? Okay. The second question, what would change if you learn this skill of impromptu speaking, coming here and speaking, at the drop of a hat? How would you feel?
Indomitable.
Any other answer? Confident. Okay, so do we agree that it's an essential skill for your confidence, your career? Okay, that's an agreement now. A lot of people think you need to be ingenious to come speak on table topics. It is wrong. You need an indomitable will to try, make an attempt. If you go through some of the techniques we talk about in the next 15 minutes and then come attempt that for once, just once, you will see anyone can speak on any topic. Right? That's my bold promise. It's not a tall claim. I can prove by the end of the next 15 minutes anyone here can speak on any topic. Alright, let's dive into the details. There are two key points in Toastmasters to understand in terms of table topic sessions. The number one thing is, a lot of people think you need to be knowledgeable to speak on a topic. It is true outside this room. In this room, it is not true. Let me make it one more time clear. To speak on a topic here in Toastmasters, your knowledge is not required on the topic. Nobody expects you to be the subject matter expert on the topic. Is that clear? When I joined Toastmasters in 2002, there was a gentleman called Sriram Gopalaswamy, very senior guy. He used to tell us a joke to inspire people to speak on any topic. And the story goes like this. So there was a girl in a school. She was really well prepared to speak on this topic called cow. She goes to school the next day. And the topic given to her is a tree. She isn't prepared, she's panicking. She speaks 3 sentences about the cow. And she says, the cow was tied to the tree. And for the next 5 minutes, she speaks on the tree. I hope you get my point. So in Toastmaster, your content doesn't matter. The context you speak with, your perspective matters. What you think about the topic is really important, not how much you know about the topic. I think this one idea, if you settle into your consciousness and agree, you will not have any fear to come here and speak. You are not judged or evaluated on your content here in Toastmasters only. Please, I'm underlining many times in Toastmasters. No, it doesn't mean the next time your manager asks you something and say, hey, I went to your training. Content doesn't matter. Don't say that. In other contexts, in Toastmaster, your content doesn't matter. Is that clear? The second point you have to realize in table topic session is, your goal here while you speak on a topic can be one of these two goals. Number one, you can give us information about something you know that we don't know. Pass on information to us that you know. I'm sure there are so many topics all of us know. At least some of the people in this room may not be aware of those topics. So you are more knowledgeable in many areas. You may have read something. All those can be helpful to you. I'll cover that later as we go on. So information. The second one is entertainment. You may have some story that you have in your mind that can be humorous. You bring the story here to entertain the audience. So your goal can be either to give information or provide entertainment. There is no other goal in table topics. Either you inform or entertain. So just relax. Just 2 things to consider. Your content doesn't matter, your context or the perspective matters. The second aspect is You can either give information or entertainment to the audience here. Well, actually, when I entered the room, I was looking at the books kept here. And I saw this book by, it's a compilation of Sanskrit quotes from Chanakya. And this book was mine once, not mine anymore. I love the quote. One of the quotes in the book is, it's a long quote, I'll shorten it for just for this purpose here. There is a segment in that quote called, for every 10,000 people, one great orator is born. Shateshu jayateshu raha sahasreshu cha panditaha vakta dasa sahasreshu data jayate vanava. So vakta dasa sahasreshu means vakta is orator, dasa sahasreshu is 10,000. So for every 10,000 people, one great orator is born. I think every time I read that book, it reminds me that it's a skill all of us can develop. If we're not born with that, we all can develop the aptitude of speaking and entertaining the audience. Now, knowing the basics, so let's go back to the basics. Key point 1. What's the key point? Your content doesn't matter. You're not evaluated by the topic content or the knowledge you have on the subject. Number 2. What's number 2? You can either provide information or entertain the audience. Is that clear? Now let's look at a simple technique. There are so many techniques, different trainers teach different techniques for this. So this comes from my training model. I used to train people 1 or 2 days program on public speaking with all this video feedback, and most of the folks here who are office bearers have gone through my training. There is a segment in the training called impromptu speaking. This module comes from that. I have curtailed it to 20 minutes so that we can get benefit. I usually do it for 90 minutes in my program. I usually need more time. Today we are going to condense it to 20 minutes and see how we can get benefit. To ensure we easily remember this technique is called probe. So what is the meaning of probe? What does it mean?
Searching.
Yeah. Questioning, go deeper, probe your mind, probe your thought, probe your memory, and so on. So it's an acronym. It stands for 5 different steps in the process. The first one you have to realize is P stands for personalize. When any topic is given to you, the first thing while you are on your seat you should do is personalize the topic to your experience. When I say experience, it can be anything. The book you have read, or the movies you have watched, people you have met, your life experiences, anything that you remember in your mind. As soon as possible, connect the topic given to your life experience. The life experience can be through anything, perceived or somebody else's story, your friend's story, the movies you watched. There is no limit to it. Information can come from anywhere. Because you are not the expert. We already have cleared that roadblock. You are not the expert on the topic. You know something about the topic through your experience. Is that clear? So you have to personalize the story to your memory as soon as possible. Number 2, R stands for relax. This is the hardest thing to do when you are here for impromptu speaking. Some of you were here last week when I spoke about how to change the state of your mind. What was the foundational piece? Physiology. I was talking to my colleague this morning. He's also one of the directors in marketing group. Close to around 45, age is 45. And then, I think 45, born in the US, very well educated. I was talking to him and he said, we were talking about impromptu speaking. I said, today I'm speaking at Toastmaster about impromptu speaking. He said, you know, my challenge is when I speak to an audience, sometimes I'm in a great state of mind, I enjoy my speech. Sometimes I don't even feel like speaking. I was laughing when he said, I said, exactly, I said, all of us have the same problem. All of us have the same problem. When you are in a good state of mind, you tend to speak and enjoy your speech. When you're not in a good state of mind, what happens? you're scared, your knees knocking, you're sweating, butterflies everywhere in your body. That happens. So the state of mind is really important to enjoy your speech, and that can be influenced through your physiology. We spoke at length last week about this. I would not go further into that topic. You already know. If you don't know, there are many places to learn about physiology speaking. To remember this aspect, I have a wonderful quote. I usually quote this everywhere I go when I talk about physiology by Tony Robbins is, there are no unresourceful people on this planet. There are no unresourceful people on this planet. There are only unresourceful states. If the state of mind is not correct, the action we perform is not correct. So we have to focus on the state of mind. Can you be in a good state at all times? The answer is yes, through physiology. Even if you are not feeling good, we talked about many techniques last week where you can start feeling good. You can influence through your action, your body. So relaxing is very important. For people who missed the session last week, relaxing means breathing deeper. Instead of slouching your body, keep your torso upright. Instead of looking at the floor down, see if you can look at the ceiling. Your eyelids can look at the ceiling. So all of these things can influence the way you feel at that moment. The moment you are called to speak, the topic is given. You still have a few seconds to sit there, or you can anticipate. What if I am the next speaker? And then take deep breaths and just keep your torso upright, and then I'm sure it will be okay after a second. You can try it before you come here and speak. So relaxing is really critical. O stands for opening. There are many ways to open your speech. You can open a speech with a question, a powerful question which everybody. What is the power of a question? What does a question do to your mind?
Think. Makes you think.
Makes you think. So questions are a powerful way to get the audience attention. It can be a question. If you remember what I spoke in the beginning is, how many of you hear it? So you answered, how many of you are interested? So it's a way to connect. It's one of the ways, it's not the only way. People ask questions, people can recite quotes. They start with a quote. This person said, and then they start with the quote. Or like Meghlava was doing in her speech, you straight away get into the story of Tangamma and Subbaya and so on. So you go into the story directly, and everybody's not confused. Okay, where is this story coming from? So you start with the bang directly. That's another way of starting. So opening can be a question, quote, or a statistic. For instance, 6 out of 10 people in this room are scared of speaking. And I think 6 out of 10 are scared of speaking. I'm getting your attention now because I have a statistic that can hit your mind. 6 out of 10 people are scared of speaking. That's how you can grab attention. So opening, you enter into the topic directly. There is no need to thank for the opportunity. There is no need to say, I am scared today to speak on this topic. I'm not prepared. Not required. You go straight into the topic. Opening. B stands for your body. Since you have only 2 minutes for a table topic speech, you stick to 1 or 2 main points that you want to speak on. Just 1 or 2 points. Do not go around the topic and keep speaking. Just select 1 or 2 points, and you can always elaborate on that 1 point. You stick to 1 or 2, and you can always expand this one. So this one, I leave it to you. You have the flexibility to do what you want. You have the freedom here. You have the latitude to do what you want here in this area. There's nothing, because it's your personal experience. I don't know what you have in your personal experience. So you have the freedom to choose the way you want to structure your body. So once you cover your body, then E stands for ending. Now the ending, there are many ways to conclude your speech. You can go back and summarize your speech, what you said in the last 2 minutes. You can end with a question, you can end with a quote. You can again take the same quote from the beginning or the same question from the beginning and ask the same question at the end. That's how you're looping the entire speech. You started with the question, ending with the same question. It's a nicer way to package your speech. There are many other ways. So there are some standard ways. You can start with that and then be more creative. Spread your wings as you go on. So again, going back, you personalize your story to the topic. You relax with your state of mind, with right posture, breathing, physiology. Even when you come and stand here, avoid playing with your ID, avoid playing with your pen here, avoid doing all these things when you come here, because we want you to enjoy your speech by your free hands, gestures, walking around, looking at people, standing upright. Those things can have tremendous confidence to your body. Because you have full air going into your lungs, you're enjoying your speech, the voice quality is great, the sound is really nice, people can hear your voice. So there are many benefits of physiology. Then you open with a question code or a story or a statistic, then body is left to you because of your personal experience, then ending. Now, before we move into the exercise part of it, how much time do you have? 15 minutes or over? 15 minutes more. 3:30. Okay, so before we go into the aspect of you training it and coming here and speaking, as I said earlier, all you need is the indomitable will to come and attempt here. Please do not say it's all nice theory, floor and go back to your desk. Doesn't help you. You have to come here and do something. We will take it gradually. I won't really drag you here and say, come speak here. We'll do a couple of simple exercises before we do the complex one here. And it's not really complex. All you need to do is, I like the title here, how to make your feet think. Don't think, just make your feet walk here. There's no thinking required because we already have the technique. So don't worry about how to speak. You already have it. So to demonstrate, what I want to do is a few people will start here maybe. Give me any random topic. I will take that topic and use the technique. No other technique, just the technique I just described. And I will try to attempt to speak on that topic for 30 seconds. I won't go beyond that because I can speak for several hours if you allow me to speak. You may not like it. And also I want you to realize I'm not special. The technique is special. I want you to realize that if I speak too much, you think, oh, you have experience here, you have a lot of experience, you've been doing it for so many years. And the answer is yes. I'm not saying no. So I want you to focus on yourself, not on me. Is that a deal? Okay, so let's start with this. Give me any topic. This word cloud has become a buzzword these days. Data cloud, sales cloud, marketing cloud. And I sometimes wonder what made them bring this word cloud. Was there any other word available? What was the need to bring this cloud? And as I thought about this, I realized there is something unique about cloud. Do you see anything beyond the cloud? In the sky, what you see is a cloud. Do you see anything beyond the cloud? So then I realized probably somebody who is really creative would have thought about the word cloud to say what happens behind the scene nobody knows. It is hidden. That's why it is called cloud. Well, I can go on for 2 more hours. Do you understand the topic? I come from marketing world and we use marketing cloud, sales cloud, so I understand. Did I say anything about what he said? And I can speak for 1 hour by day. Again, I'm saying in this forum it is okay, but if I do it outside, people may not like it. I can go on. In this case, I can go with information aspect. I can talk to about all these cloud instances, what is a cloud and so on, give some information about it, what's the trend going on. I can continue. I hope I didn't disappoint you. Okay, any other topic? Let's start with this.
Wife behind cloud. Wife behind cloud.
Wife behind cloud. I was in a training a few years ago, and the trainer said, can somebody define the word wife? W-I-F-E. Different people had different answers. Somebody said, wow, invited forever. I was thinking how creative this is, and I'm sure he loves his wife more than anybody else in this room. I was waiting what I would say. At that time I was unmarried, by the way. I was single. And I was thinking, what do I do? Then suddenly a thought struck my mind. I said, I have the answer, because I have seen people who are struggling with their marriage. After they get married, they become different, they start fighting each other, work each other. I said, I have a different answer. He said, what's your answer? I said, worry invited forever. Is that okay? Anything else?
Penguins don't dance.
Penguins don't dance. It is so funny, in my entire life, I have never danced. In 2003, it was the first time Oracle went for a team outing. We went to Club Cabana. And then my manager said, we all are dancing at the end of the day. And I wasn't drinking beer at that time. I said, I'll drink a Coke or something. But I won't dance. He said, no, you have to, you have to. And I really appreciate him that he led by example, and he found something called the penguin dance, which means all you do is you stand there and you do this. And this went on for a while, and while he did that, all of us really enjoyed, because as a leader, he showed us the way that it is okay to be laughed at. And all of us followed him, and we did the same dance. Anything else?
US elections.
Huh?
US election.
I was talking to a friend of mine after Donald Trump won. I had no idea about all this election. I only knew two things. There was an election on 8th of November. The second thing I knew was there were two big candidates, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And I thought Hillary would win based on what I was hearing in media, because I don't have a television at home, I don't check Facebook, I don't read newspapers. So all my trusted friends would tell me who would win, and I would really listen to them dearly and say, yeah, you guys are knowledgeable, you know more than me, I would listen. All of a sudden, it so happens that Trump wins, and a friend of mine calls me. And her worry now is I think the election results were announced the previous night. The next morning she calls me, and she and her husband are planning to come back to India. I said, why? Oh, we are on L1B visa. Trump would send us back. That way I realized how one election can impact people like this. I was really confused that how those big things, how macro things can impact these micro things in our life. That somebody can decide, they moved 6 months ago to the US, and in 6 months they want to come back to India doing everything there because of one person winning the election. So how life can change in a heartbeat. So anything else?
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland. You know, we live in an interesting world. The world of thought. And your thought can create whatever you want. Your imagination can bring things to your life and to this world that no one else can imagine because it's in your mind. One of those things is things like these stories, Alice in Wonderland. Somebody's story, somebody thought of a story. And as you read, you start wondering how creative that person should be to write something like this, which was non-existent. Nobody heard of this. It's all her thought. And it is penned in a book, and people are reading it for hundreds of years and enjoying it. There are movies being made. There are memorably, there are gifts, many objects, merchandise being made of that story. And even today, thousands of people are behind those animated movies, series, cartoon, and their books, and so on. It really amazes me the power of a thought, power of a single person thinking about an idea, and how when it comes to fruition, it can affect thousands of people, millions of people around the world. I think I should stop. I hope you get the point. It is not about the content. Can you stand here for 1 or 2 minutes and say your perspective about the topic? And I hope I made sense to you so far. It's not about your content. I had no idea about some of these topics. I had no idea who even wrote Alice in Wonderland. I know it's something somebody wrote and it's a famous thing. So my knowledge is very limited. I may come across very knowledgeable, it is very limited. Unfortunate part. Okay, so now let's switch the focus. I'm going to ask you a few questions. What did you learn from the exercise so far? Because I've got 7 more minutes to go.
How can we visualize ourselves, personalize to the topic, and get back to one single 2-3 sentences?
Okay. Anything else? Any other thing you noticed?
One thing I wanted to know is how do you connect so quickly? Because it might happen that a person is stuck and he is just
It takes time. That's the answer. So you anticipate every time a topic comes, you anticipate if I were the speaker, what do I speak?
experience.
You start with that. Initially you start with that. When I started my career, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, I used to sit and think, if I were to speak, what would I speak? And I used to write down while others were speaking. If I were the speaker, I would start with this sentence. And I end with this. Try it for a few weeks, that's it. The best thing to do is you come here and start doing what we just discussed. So what we'll do is now, we'll take exactly 2 minutes. And I want all of you to stand up. Please stand up. And we make a group of 2. If you don't have a partner, join any group. So make a group of 2. Randomly just make a group of 2. And face each other. Face each other. Randomly you make a group of 2, face each other. If you don't have a partner, go find a partner. Join any group. Any group is fine. Join any group. Okay, so you have 2 minutes now. In your case, you have 3 minutes. The last person, because you've got three. You have 3 people. So you have to give a topic to him, and look at the watch, your watch. And this person has to speak for a minute on the topic using the technique we just discussed. Any questions so far? And then you switch the role. Exactly 1 minute, no feedback, no opinion, no judgment. You just listen to what the person is speaking. Just focus on the same thing. Personalize, relax, opening, body, index. And once you finish, no discussion. You just switch the role and you give another topic and he speaks. Then you switch. Clear? Any questions? No. And your time starts now.
Just the height doesn't matter. You have to put all in the thoughts.
Last 5 seconds, finish it now.
So that's how. When it is said that confidence grows to makes you grow taller, whenever you have a confidence, it's not just the thing which makes you grow taller.
Okay, switch and continue Shakespeare.
Happy about that because but we again have to start. And that gives us so when you think about the
Thirty seconds to go. 30 seconds to go. All right, time up. Please sit back. Please take your seats. So how was the experience?
Chit-chatting.
How was that?
Not chit-chatting, like a marketplace.
Now, how many of you were able to get something from your memory to talk about? Not bad. It's a matter of time. Now let's do the second step, a little more complex. You would come now here and speak about a topic that we offer you. Timer, who is the timer? So please note 30 seconds green, not 2 minutes now. 30 seconds green, 45 seconds yellow, 1 minute red. Because I want people to attempt and see how it feels when they come here and speak. It was easy looking into each other's eyes and speaking. Now there are so many eyes to look at you. You may feel a little jittery and agitated inside, but you will be okay. Now, I'm going to pick one person in the room, and then please attempt. It's fine to come and attempt. You may not complete 1 minute, that's fine. Attempt to be here for 30 seconds at least, looking at the audience, not looking at me. And then we will nominate Ananda to give a simple topic for the first speaker. And the first speaker is Ashok. Please come. Round of applause. Give him a simple topic, and he will use the probe to go into the topic. Timer to note 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 60 seconds.
Butterflies are once caterpillar.
Butterflies are very beautiful objects. We all have seen in our childhoods and everybody loves. And it's a very good God's creation because it has got many colorful. We usually see many butterflies, and everybody likes that, especially children's. And
Robert, please. Round of applause for Robert. Please attempt to use the technique. Personal story is important. Any story that you can think of, please go on.
He who knows he knows is wise. Follow him.
Okay, so that's a very common phenomenon these days, right? We all are experts, especially with the invent of internet. Anybody can talk about anything. And I think the people who suffer from this a lot is doctors, because every patient is a doctor himself, and the doctors have a tough time. And now this piece of wisdom is very, very important. Anybody knows that he knows nothing, knows it. So what can you do?
He who knows he knows is wise.
He who knows
That he knows.
once again.
He who knows that he knows.
Okay, he who knows that he knows. That's it. Thank you.
So this was focused on entertainment. You see the aspect coming? Okay, so the next speaker is Pramoda. So give me a round of applause. And keep the topic simple, please. And Pramoda, please focus on the technique. Topic, please.
My most favorite tourist spot.
My most favorite destination or tourist spot would be Himalayas. So I'm planning to go there in nearest future. I want to go there and spend some time and sit there and do some meditation, and want to see the Kailas, all those things, and then come back to my life. And that's my favorite place if I would like to go. One of the thing is it's a very nice place, and in India itself, and there is a tradition attached to it. And my friend has gone, so I do have a very great ambition that in the very nearest future I may visit Kailas, Manasarovar and Himalayas. So that's my favorite place.
3:35. Okay, so Anupriya, please, you are giving the topic, and the speaker is this lady. Round of applause. Anupriya, please give the topic.
Success never comes before work, except in dictionary.
Although I have never seen this particular thing in dictionary, I do know how important hard work is, how important doing work actually is, putting in huge like long hours, and just doing that particular work. It can be tiring at times. It's really very exhausting when you think of you have to do if you're a student, you have to study for 10 hours a day. It's not easy, but we all visualize our success, and that is the motivation that we have to study and to put in a lot of hard work and finally achieve our success. So I would say just visualize a success and put in a lot of hard work to achieve something great.
This will be my last. So please, what's your name? Please, can you take the last one? This newcomer. And the technique, please remember how you're following this. Any topic is fine.
Okay. Effort alone doesn't matter, results must follow.
Effort alone doesn't matter. According to you, whatever effort we put, it should not go in vain. We have to expect some result and then only put in the effort. If at all it goes in vain, we should not be sad and stop putting our efforts. Put in more efforts and get to know what else is necessary in order to gain the result that we achieved.
Okay, so give them a huge round of applause. The fact that they did not say no to my request or forcing them to come here is really nice of you. I hope I proved my point that it's not a special skill. You do not need to be genius to come and speak here. It's a matter of using some techniques to come start. As you gradually grow, things may be different. You may be able to enthrall the audience with your content as well as context and your style of delivery. That's a later stage. Initially, you communicate to express. Later, you communicate to impress. That's fine. But start expressing before impressing. Again, let's go back. So 2 things to remember. Content doesn't matter. You can either give information or entertain the audience. And use this as a robe. Robe can be a robe on your body. When you wear and come here, you feel comfortable, confident, and courageous and deliver a speech. Discover the joy of speaking in public. Anyone can do it. It's a matter of attempting and seeing where you are today and then growing further to become what you want to become. All the best.